This is my persuasive speech on why you should wear your seatbelt, and this is my audio. I was going the speed limit, and I saw the lane change for the connecting highway that I needed to get downtown, so I started to change my lane. In the blink of an eye, I was too close to the guardrail as my car started slipping and sliding. I realized I had no control of my vehicle, nor was it possible at that point to gain control. I slammed into the guardrail, spinning my car into the lamppost and taking it clear out. My car was then thrown into a ditch, rolling several times, landing on its roof. I remember hearing the airbags deploy, and I could see them, but they weren't even close to my body. I hung upside down for what seemed like forever, but in real time it was about a second. I felt the passenger window blow in, and snow hit me in the face. I realized I was still alive. I tried to get out, but then realized my seatbelt was still fastened. I released myself and got out. I had survived. Not only did I survive, but with just a few bruises, scratches, and some torn muscles. Every nurse and every doctor all said they couldn't believe they were looking at me. All of them said, "You must have had your seatbelt on." This is a quote from a girl named Alexandria and her experience in a car accident while wearing the seatbelt. Jim Fitzpatrick, who is the road safety minister in the UK, said this quote, "Every day someone dies simply because they're not wearing a seatbelt. That's a tragic waste that can be avoided if everyone took the simple steps of belting up whenever they got into a car." What I'm going to do today is try and get you to see my point of view and many others and persuade you to buckle up every time you drive or ride in a car. Something to touch on would be what happens when someone is involved in an accident. Mr. Fitzpatrick said that even at a speed of only 30 miles an hour, a person will actually experience three different things while in the crash. The first part of the crash is, of course, with your car. Next, if someone were to not be wearing a seatbelt, that person's body would continue moving until it hit something inside of the car. And lastly, your internal organs move until they hit the inside of your body. This can cause tearing due to the force of the impact. This person without the seatbelt is twice more likely to die in the crash since they're not wearing their seatbelt. Just a few interesting statistics about seatbelts. About 63% of individuals killed in an accident were not wearing their seatbelt. Using a seatbelt is the single most effective step we can take to save lives and reduce injuries. Males ages 16 to 25 are the group least likely to buckle up. They either believe they won't get injured, killed, or even crash. At caraccidents.com, it says that group of men are the nation's highest risk drivers. These people have more drunk driving and speeding crashes than any other group. In 1 year, 1 out of 5 drivers will be involved in a crash. Like I said, vehicle crashes are the leading death among individuals ages 44 or younger. Crashes are also the leading cause of head or spinal cord injuries. And 75% of crash deaths and injuries occur within 25 miles of your home. And over half of all crashes involving injuries occurred at speeds as low as just 40 miles per hour. I'd like to give a couple stories of people who have been affected in a positive way by the use of their seatbelts during an accident. If you think going up the street to the local store or gas station doesn't require a seatbelt, think again. A gentleman and his friend were riding in a car to the local store, and his passenger asked him to put on his seatbelt. The gentleman driver refused. His reasoning was, "I'm just going up the street." The passenger stated that if he did not buckle up at that moment, he was just going to get out of the car and walk home. So the driver buckled up his seatbelt. Now, due to the fact that it was raining, the car hit a puddle and hydroplaned. The car drove down a small hill off the side of the road and flipped many times. The occupants of the car were able to walk away with cuts and a sprained neck. They were able to walk away because they had been wearing their seatbelts. A gentleman is trying to cross a 4-lane highway. Posted speed limit is 65 miles per hour. While trying to cross the lanes, a small car and then an 18-wheeler broadsided his Dodge pickup truck. The victim said the truck was catapulted 600 feet. Aside from some fractured ribs and internal bruising, this driver was able to tell his story because he was wearing his seatbelt. Many people, for some reason that I cannot understand, think that seatbelt laws are wrong. I'm going to discuss some of these opposing views, and then I'd like to give refute these views and discuss some of the positive things about wearing a seatbelt. A Gallup survey from 1977 states, in the latest survey, a huge majority, 78% of people, oppose a law that would fine a person $25 for failure to use a seatbelt. This represents an increase of resistance since 1973 to such a law. And at that time in 1973, 71% opposed seatbelt laws. When the survey was given again in October 1982, the 78% of people who opposed the seatbelt law dropped a very small 3% to 75% opposing the laws. A question some people ask is, why pass the seatbelt law if there is knowledge of a vast majority of people opposing them? The answer? Money. As reported by the Associated Press, the president of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, Brian O'Neill, said, people have been talking about seatbelt laws, and there have been attempts to pass them for well over 10 years. It's been a snowball effect once the money poured in. This abrupt flow of money began in the year 1984. Elizabeth Dole, who was at that time the Secretary of Transportation, said that she would abolish the rule that required automakers to install passive restraints by the year 1990. This would happen if states representing 2/3 of the United States population passed seatbelt laws by April 1989. Passive restraints are airbags. Most all automakers oppose passive restraints because they're so expensive to develop and install. In turn, this would make the price of autos become so high, people would not be able to afford a vehicle. So therefore, automakers use their financial resources to lobby states to vote yes for seatbelt laws. This way, automakers wouldn't be forced to install their airbags. Some people say that seatbelt laws also infringe on a person's rights. They say it should be their personal choice. To refute that, I will say that I agree with one of my sources in saying that in our society, personal freedom should stop where others are injured or killed. I find it so hard to believe that people feel it's wrong to make someone wear a seatbelt. If these people already know that a seatbelt can save their life, why not wear one? All of us pay for those who choose not to wear a seatbelt. There are higher health care and insurance costs. An example would be the cost of hospital care for an unbelted driver, which is 50% higher than those of a driver who was wearing a seatbelt. Our society bears 85% of those costs. Different states have different laws. Some states have primary seatbelt laws, which means that law enforcement is able to ticket a driver for simply not wearing a seatbelt. Let's see here. Secondary seatbelt laws allow law enforcement officers to issue a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt only if another traffic violation is taking place at the same time, such as a broken taillight, driver speeding, or no blinker, etc. States with primary seatbelt laws have less deaths than states with only secondary seatbelt laws. Each year, so many people are affected by the use of their seatbelt. Accidents happen every single day, and so many people credit their ability to walk away or even just be alive to their seatbelt. You can't predict what another driver is going to be doing. They could be trying to drive and talk on their cell phone or trying to do their makeup. It would take 1 second of taking their eyes off the road or not paying attention because of the conversation they are having to crash into you, causing your car to go out of control. Your seatbelt will help you stay in the car and seated safely until the car comes to a stop. Seatbelts save lives. Bottom line.